Hello, it's great and glorious, soon to be famous one day. If I'm very lucky, Nick Dutch here yet again. This is the second video on the states of mind you need to be able to do magic. Okay, we've spoken about meditation, we've spoken about changing your state of consciousness using mantra. Alright, now we want to talk about breathing and a little on posture. And remember, all of this is to do with how you develop the right states of mind to be able to learn to perform acts which may give you supernatural experience. Alright, on the subject of breath, you may think that, you're perfectly okay, you're breathing all the time, you must be, otherwise you'd die, so what's so important about that? Well, if you breathe at different rates and at different times, you can have very slightly different influences upon your body. Also, if you use concentration and visualization when you're doing breathing, you can also have some extra effects, which can be useful for mind-body awareness, and also the manipulation of bioplasma, or what appears to be bioplasma. I mean, I don't want to give you any false hopes. Everything that you do with the magical, the supernatural, is essentially experimental. It's not cut and dried, because every time you do something or attempt to do something of a supernatural nature, there will be the human variability element involved under every single circumstance, including what you've eaten today, whether you're allergic to it, whether you're overtired, whether you slept well last night, and a wide variety of different factors. Now, there is a method of breathing which seems to, the natural sciences suggest can actually increase the quantity of oxygen in your body. So if you've got some circulatory problems, it can be useful for you in that respect as well. But also, if you've got more oxygen in your body, you also got more oxygen in your brain. You can probably think more clearly, you can probably visualize more clearly, and you can probably control your own states of mind better. And the way you do that is you breathe in for as long as it is comfortable, you hold your breath for the same period of time, then you breathe out for the same period of time, then you hold your breath yet again, then you breathe in for the same period of time. You understand where I'm coming from here, okay? It's quite simple. How long you do it for, how long you breathe in for, how long you hold your breath for, and how long you breathe out for is up to you. I mean, if you're doing a whole session like that of maybe 10 minutes, you may want to actually vary the rate very slightly depending upon how comfortable you feel breathing that way. So, don't worry about it. It's not cast in stone. You're dealing with your own body, your own mind, and don't do these things to the point of feeling dizzy, falling over, getting yourself ill, and just do it to the point whereby you start to feel a change, and then experiment with it. Some people want to take it more seriously and do it for longer periods of time. Just build up your skill with doing it, and it'll actually may even help your body to fight off illnesses, because you've got more oxygen going around you. It might give you just that teeny bit of extra vitality. One of the reasons for doing this is it can increase your concentration. Again, if you're doing some meditative exercises, it can be very useful for you. Another way of using breath control is when I often use this when I'm doing a healing exercise, and if I'm thinking about, I think about my arm, I visualize my arm, I know I've got bad circulation because I'm a heavy smoker anyway, so I can't always have as much sense of my arms or of my feet as I would probably do normally. During the time when I was a non-smoker, I have much more awareness of my whole body than when I'm a smoker, okay? So, in my meditation state, I exhale and I visualize light or plasma traveling down my arm and to my hands. Alright? And you will get, with practice, a different sensation, much more of an awareness of your hands and your feet in a way that you're not normally accustomed to. And with a bit more practice, you visualize the light not only extending down your hands as you're breathing out, but also outside of them. And when you're more practiced, you then try and do a healing on someone using this method, and they may actually feel heat coming out of your hands, real heat coming out of your hands. Not necessarily measurable by a thermometer, but something which can be sensed by human senses, which can be strange. But those are two principal means of using breath. You can also use breath when you're visualizing a beam of light, let's say coming out of your solar plexus about here, just below where the ribs divide, in a long stream and turning into a blob and then turning into something like a creature, if you wanted to actually try and invoke or evoke a spiritual force from your own aura and then to interact with it using your meditation. Right, now on the subject of posture control, many books talk about being in specific yoga postures, but sometimes that can be bad for your back, or you got to do it in a way which is comfortable for yourself and rational, and you can increase your quality and increase the postures that you want to use with time, but obviously don't make yourself ill. Don't stretch your muscles too much, don't damage your back. You might as well just sit upright, bolt upright in a chair with your hands on your knees and facing slightly inward. Your elbows and shoulders nice and natural, your spine nice and rigid, well, comfortable, rigid and upright, and your feet planted firmly on the floor. That is an actual bona fide meditation position, and you don't even have to cross your legs to do it. And you just hold your attention on your whole posture, on your arms, on your legs, on your whole body. And you use the breath control I mentioned earlier on today, and you learn to keep that posture still and try and resist any desire to, scratch yourself, move, twitch, and so on. Again, practice this over a period of time, about 3 months maybe, so you can get more training and practice in that. And those are the main ones. I've gone into the rest of it in my second book, which I haven't yet set for publish yet, but it will be going out in a couple of months' time, because I'm a very slow writer. Okay, that's my problem, not yourself, not yours. And there'll be more beneficial stuff coming along shortly. Once you've mastered the mantra aspects, posture and breath control for a while, then it could be worthwhile playing about with other meditative ideas such as the chakras, and then to go straight head first into different forms of ritual, and I'll go into that in subsequent videos later on.